In this video, I'm going to be going over one of the strategies that I use in meme coins that has made me a lot of money and has also saved me from losing a lot of money. A lot of times when people buy meme coins or any other crypto, what they do is they just buy a position and they sit in it and they hope that it goes up. But what happens if you don't have a good entry into a coin? That's where my DCA strategy that I have used over and over again comes into play. If you're not familiar with what DCA is, it is called dollar cost averaging. And this is something that I have used personally, and I'm about to show you how I've used it. And I've taught a lot of people in my own Discord how to use it as well. And as you can see right here, one of our members did say, your DCA method saved my ass once again, would have sold for a loss a few months ago without that lesson. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn you guys around and I'm going to show you a couple situations and give a couple different examples of when to use this method. Before we start, if you are trading meme coins and you are looking for a community to join mine, which is Canto Labs. You can see the link right here, but I'll put the link down below too. It is a full trading community with bots, with a wallet tracker, Twitter alerts, and a community that is active all the time trading meme coins. If you're experienced or if you're looking to learn, definitely join up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by going over a coin and I'm going to go over an example, and then we're going to talk about why I did what I did and show the guidelines that I would usually follow in a situation like this. So this is a coin that was called Shit and Piss 500. This is a coin that we found pretty early in Canto, but I was not around at the time, so I found it a little bit late. And it went all the way to around $7 million market cap. And generally when I see coins that are running super hard like this and they hit 3, 4, 5 million and I'm not in it already, I'll sometimes feel like I missed the boat. And instead of buying the top of a coin, what I normally like to do is I like to wait for coins to get their inevitable 50% retrace. This tends to happen a lot on coins where they'll run super hard. It'll go from whatever it was like here, just like going all the way up 7 million, and then it dumps. And in this specific situation, this coin had one person who sold and dumped the coin all the way down to around 5 million market cap. So that normally wouldn't have been enough for me to want to fully get into a position, but because this coin did dump pretty hard from its peak, I was like, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to start a position into this. So I ended up buying a lot. I believe these were like 5 to 10 SOL each. And I started selling into the first relief bounce because I was a little bit in profit. But what ended up happening is the coin ended up dumping even more. So I DCA'd more. So I bought more into this dump. And then as it went up, I sold a bunch of clips. And then as it continued to go up, I sold even more. Now, I did end up selling this a little bit too early, but my goal here was that I wanted to take a position at a spot where I said to myself, okay, this is a pretty significant retrace, and it did end up going from around 7.5 million down to about 4, which is almost a 50% retrace. So this would have been a better position. This would have been a better spot to enter the full bag. But as we know, a lot of times when we're entering coins, we don't know when the bottom is, which is why you want to strategically place your buys in certain areas. So I followed this, which is DCA guidelines. At the time, this coin had $100,000 of 5-minute volume. I went in with pretty much, in this situation, I went in with like 60% of what I would have wanted to buy, but I only did that because the coin did dump really hard. What I would do is I would go in with 40% of the total of what I'd be willing to bid on a certain coin with my initial buy. If the price went up, I would sell and I would take my profit. But if the price goes down, I would add more to the position. And then you also have to have a plan to cut the position if the DCA does not work and if it ends up just continuing to go down. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at another situation. This is UFD. So this is Unicorn Fart Dust. This was a coin that has been going crazy and a lot of people have been talking about it. And what had happened with this is this coin went all the way to 228 million market cap. And what I did is I was like, okay, I want to wait until I get a very, very obvious entry into this coin. So what did I do? I waited and I started placing bids at around 120 million. So you can see that I was bidding this dump, I bid this dump, I bid this dump, and then I bid this dump. Now, if I had just bought right here and I decided to wait until the price went back up, I would have had to endure another 20% dump, and it would have taken a lot longer for me to get out and profit. So if I had bought here and then sold here, I wouldn't have made any money. It was these buys that made me money on this trade. And so what I was doing is I put in 50% basically of what I was willing to buy, and then I put in another 30% here, and then my last 20% here. Now, I got out of this position with a lot of profit, and I was happy with that because this was a trade that lasted 4 hours. And this is the perfect example of playing a chart. This is how you want to give yourself the best possible average. So it's like if you're buying, you want to be able to buy low if you believe in the position. To me, I was like, this thing is down 50% from all-time high. It's going to bounce. And it did. It ended up actually, if you could see right here, it ended up going all the way back to 200 million. Now, I didn't hold this because this ended up being what I think maybe 4 or 5 days later. I don't like to hold positions that long. I like to make very quick intraday trades. And this, I believe, was either a 20 to 30% move on this trade. Now, I understand that a lot of people in meme coins, they're looking for a 2, a 3, a 4x. But if you are not using a lot of capital, and if you are trying to get quick 20 to 30 to 40 to 50% moves, then this is a strategy that you can use, such as what I did on shit and piss, right? Like this bottomed at 4 million and then it went all the way back to 8. So that was a 2x right there. If you miss the boat, but there are positions, there are coins that have volume, then you can make 50% to 100% gains, which is still solid. I think that there is an issue within the crypto space where people are just like, I need a 10x, I need whatever, like I need to do that. But one of the things that I preach within my group that we go over pretty often is about taking quick wins, especially if you do not have a big bag, because you don't really have the luxury to sit on pump fun and hope for a 1000x if you are only trading with 2 Solana. What I would be doing is I would be doing stuff like this, where I would be going and I would be trying to turn that 2 Solana into 2.5 and then 3 and then 4. And then once you snowball and you move that bag up, then you end up, or then you're able to make more money because you're able to size in with more. And then also on the flip side, if you have a lot of money and you're doing what I do, you can make 20 to 30% on, let's just say 3 to 4 to 500 Solana, which I'm making 50 to 60 to 70 Sol, which is $10,000 per trade, which is what I do. So there was that. And then here's a situation that I feel like a lot of people are going to find themselves in, which is where you buy the top of a coin and you have to DCA to save your ass. Now, this was a situation where this was some old guy that launched a token. I thought that this was going to be similar to UFD. The guy started a stream and whatever, and I bought, and I was just like, whatever, I'm going to put a position in here. And what ended up happening, it went from 15 million all the way down to 7. So it took a 50% retrace. Now, I saved this position and I got out break even because I was able to buy all the way down here and then sell into this pump. And that's pretty much what happened. I bid a lot right here. These buys were a lot bigger than these buys and I actually ended up becoming like one of the top holders of this token, which I was not happy with. But I was able to get out of this position either break even or just maybe losing a little bit, which is a lot better than what could have happened, which is when this coin inevitably dumped all the way down to 2 million, and then it actually went down to like 300K. So that is how you would want to try to save yourself if you make a bad trade. And then what we're going to talk about now is the important thing, which is a situation where you DCA and you cannot save yourself. And the thing is in meme coins, you are going to take losses. That's just how it is. You're gonna win, you're gonna lose. But this was another situation where I had started an initial position. I thought that this could go on a chill guy type run. I took a position, an initial position right here, and it dumped. So I DCA'd, I DCA'd, I DCA'd, I DCA'd, and it just kept going lower, kept going lower. And this coin actually never recovered. So this coin really went from whatever it was up here, 80 million or so, and then it dumped and it never bounced. It never went back above like 30 mil on any of the bounces, and then it just died. And so this is a situation where I ended up having to take a pretty significant loss. And you may say to yourself, well, you bought the top, of course you're going to take a loss. Like, yes, I had a very bad initial entry into this coin, which is why I haven't been doing this at all anymore. I basically only buy into tokens when they are on a 50% from all-time high, or even more, like a 60% retrace. Otherwise, I don't even chase, because the times that I lose the most is when I buy too high like this, and then I get stuck in a position. I did lose money on this, and I tried to save myself with the DCA, and I thought that this coin was big enough to where it would not fuck me over, but that just wasn't the case. And that happens sometimes. And that is going to be something that comes with experience, where you're going to have to be able to say to yourself, like, especially in these situations right here, when I bought up here, I DCA'd and I had a chance to get out at 65 mil, but I believed in it for whatever reason, and then it just dumped, and then I fucked myself. So that's one thing that you have to decide, because in reality, I could have saved this position. I could have just sold right here and I would have gotten out, and I would have either lost a little bit, but it might not have been that bad. So I just wanted to clarify that there are a lot of times that I use this strategy and it works. But there are also some times when I use it, and this will happen with any coin, right? Any meme coin. You guys know how it is. There will be coins that will run to 10 million and then they'll just dive all the way down to a million and die, and there's nothing that you can do about it. But what I try to do is I try to save positions, and best case scenario here would have been if I would have DCA'd here when it went on a 50% retrace, and then it had another bounce to like 40 or 50 million. So anyway, that's really what this strategy comes down to. And the thought process that I usually use when I am trading and I am doing this is I am trying to give myself a cushion. I'm trying to save a position. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, join my Discord, which is Canto Labs. I'll put the link down below. I hope this was helpful, because I feel like this is one of those things that not a lot of people talk about. It is something that I use all the time, and I have been explaining how to use this within my group, and a lot of people have been using this to their benefit. And it's a way that what you can do is, instead of just buying into a coin and hoping it goes up, you can actually lower your cost and get out, and you can either get out with less of a loss, or you can break even, or even potentially make more on a position because you're buying low. So I hope that helps. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Take it easy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.